Oh, champ. Fans believe that Pusha T could be making a special guest appearance out there in Toronto at Kendrick Lamar's two GNX shows, which are taking place this Thursday and Friday. Is this true? Is Kendrick this sinister? Look, I want you to smash the like button because it does help the algorithm, because we about to get deep. It's finally time for Kendrick Lamar to perform out there in Toronto. We've heard numerous rumors, alright, over the last couple of months since the year began, saying that, look, Kendrick Lamar could be in danger. If he goes to Toronto, who knows what's gonna happen? There could be some sort of scuffle or disruption during Kendrick's show by his ops, alright, like Drake's minions, like Top 5, Presser, and people of that nature, okay? That's what people were saying. But now, rumors are circulating stating that, hey, what if Kendrick Lamar is having Pusha T as a special guest on this tour in Toronto? Listen, if Kendrick is devious enough to do the things that he's already did, especially like Watch the Party Now, where he uses black Air Force Ones from a random country family as a song cover, who knows what Kendrick is also capable of doing in his head, alright? I wouldn't doubt for 1 second that Pusha T would be up to perform in Toronto the story of adding on against Drake randomly. I can see that happening. This is a possibility. I mean, Pusha recently talked about him being silenced because UMG thought that he was dissing Drake in other people's verses for their albums, right? Listen, I think that this is something that is a possibility. This is definitely not something that is off the table, and I still believe that Kendrick wants to continue adding insult to injury when it comes to Drake. Now, he might not be dissing him outwardly, but he might just be trying to show people, look, if y'all think that I'm not safe here, let me show you something. Let me show you that I can bring Pusha T here too, and nothing still is gonna happen to Kendrick, okay? A lot of people are very much worried. They think Kendrick is under attack and all this nonsense, which he isn't, because look, he's doing so well, man. He's been doing great thus far. He's been getting nothing but praise. How can anything happen to Kendrick Lamar in such a high stakes place, like a place like where the Toronto Blue Jays are playing at, because that's where the actual concert is going to take place? How do you think that high level of security is going to allow something to happen to Kendrick? And listen, there's nobody that, is above being touched, but we're talking about a high profile celebrity right now, somebody who is currently on top of the hip-hop game. You think that something's gonna happen to him? I doubt it. This is probably gonna be one of the biggest shows that take place in Toronto probably in the last couple of years anyway. I mean, come on, bro. Now they claim that this stadium isn't selling how it should be, and it's not having incredibly high numbers of sold out show, but that doesn't really matter because a lot of Kendrick's GNX shows have actually started selling out like the day of or the day before, like on the spot tickets. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been that type of deal. So just when you think that this isn't gonna be a full house when it comes to Kendrick Lamar's GNX tour in Toronto, you are probably sadly mistaken, because majority of his shows have been sold out shows, even though, weeks or days prior, it didn't look like it was sold out. So you might be sadly mistaken, because the pattern shows that, look, Kendrick still is able to sell out these shows, even if it seems like he doesn't, alright, days prior to the event happening. I'm just saying. But back to Pusha T. Pusha T coming to this concert would be insane. I'm just saying, Pusha T performing the story of adding on stage would be insane. Okay, I mean, look, we already got Kendrick performing Euphoria and Not Like Us. Okay, who's to say that, look, Pusha T didn't get the invite to come and add insult to injury, bro? Listen, it's incredibly possible. It can happen. You dig what I'm saying? Pusha T very much supports Kendrick Lamar, what Kendrick did. Pusha also hates Drake as much as Kendrick does, if not more, okay? We have to remember, Pusha T was the first person to really get that mainstream light on him for dragging Drake, alright? We seen Common do it before when he did the Stay Scheming freestyle or remix, but Pusha T might take this another notch just on stage in general. It's crazy. Now you gotta remember too that the city of Toronto doesn't really like Drake. The city of Toronto isn't super fond of Drake. Like, you might think that in your head, hey, Toronto loves Drake, but this isn't true. Now, there might be some people that do, but from my experience, a lot of them are not appreciative of Drake. They don't like Drake. They don't even think Drake is really from Toronto like that. They think that he is someone who came and hijacked the culture and used it to his advantage, and that he's fake and a fraud. Okay? They also say in Toronto that, listen, it's not ran by black people, it's ran by white folks. So they don't like Drake. They think Drake is manufactured, which he pretty much is, if we're being honest, okay? So I think the Toronto crowd would also appreciate Pusha T being up on that stage with Kendrick Lamar, as well as Kendrick himself, if we're being real, okay? Listen, I think this is a possibility. I don't think this is thinking way, too out there. I don't think this is far-fetched whatsoever. I think that there's a huge possibility that Pusha T is going to perform on that stage. Now, am I certain that it's gonna happen? I'm not certain, but I'm just saying these things can come to pass. There's nothing we can really, put past Kendrick on doing things. I'm just saying, like, he's good at the element of surprise. I'll tell you that. He's very good at the element of surprise. And there's no telling where this can go, gang. Alright, listen. If this happens, this might be one of the most viral moments because of just disrespect alone. Alright. Now, Drake did go to the Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers tour, I believe, in Toronto. They said that he went there. Okay. Do you think Drake would be in attendance in Toronto on purpose? Listen, I don't think that Drake would actually be in attendance, only because he's kind of outnumbered when it comes to security, Kendrick's team, and etc. Not the best option to me, even though he could come with the entire OVO, etc. Drake showing up doesn't seem like it's a good idea, and he probably might not even be allowed in, all right, unless they want problems. I think that some of Drake's minions will be in the building, though. I believe that they will be in the building trying to cause ruckus or commotion to try to take attention away from the show, or perhaps even try to sabotage the show in some way. You dig what I'm saying? Maybe. I can see that happening. I mean, Drake has a history of actually stopping people's shows in Toronto. He did it to the guy, Sir. He did it to a couple people, who was very connected in TDE adjacent to Kendrick Lamar. So there's absolutely no telling what can happen there, okay? I'm just saying. But yeah, man, a lot could go down this weekend. And we also have the BET Awards happening tonight. Drake is a nominee over there, but I highly doubt Drake is going to be at the BET Awards at all. But there's a lot to talk about when it comes to the BET Awards, and we're going to talk about that in a few too. That's going to be for another video. But Pusha T has said what he said about UMG silencing him when it comes to making verses, because they think that he's going to continue to dismantle Drake. So listen, I think that not only is Pusha T down to perform the story of adding her on stage at Kendrick Lamar's GNX show, but I also think that, look, he might just perform that song that he did with Kendrick Lamar when they're talking about, listen, that they the boogeyman of hip hop, alright? He might do that, bring that back too. You dig what I'm saying? So, but I think just having Pusha T there in general would be an incredible slap in the face to Drake, especially on his home turf. Yeah, that would be brutal. I'm just saying. You dig what I'm saying? Drake's also going on the European tour very soon as well. So, listen, man, who knows what's going to happen? But Drake is scheduled to be in Toronto at the same time as Kendrick Lamar. So there's absolutely no telling what can happen this week. I believe this entire week is going to be absolute mayhem, just on a hip hop level, just because of everything that's going on. I'm just saying, gang. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about all this in the comment section. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think that Pusha T is going to make that special guest appearance at the GNX show in Toronto, or shows, because it's Thursday and Friday? Let me know in the comment section, gang. Let me know how you feel, but also make sure you're smashing that like button. It helps the channel, man. Share the video as well. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe immediately, gang. But look, it's the mayor. the one and only New York Mayor, F. Eric Adams, and you're rocking with the town favorite Showface News. It's Big Gotham, and you already know it's the town versus everybody at all times. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the video. Subscribe to Showface News now and go to showfacenews.com and cop the merch. I'm up out of here, gang. Salute.